Hey, welcome back in Man 2040 Business&Technology&Psychology Thinkcast. And in this Thinkcast, we talk about business, we talk about technology, we talk about psychology, but most importantly, we talk about the procedure, about the steps which you can put in practice to get your desired goal. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the emotional intelligence. Right nowadays, we are busy, competition, uh, many things in the market, and we are completely bombarded by many things, productivity, etc., and time management, organizational model, etc. But but for all these things to manage these all complexities, the emotional intelligence is very important, right? We know it already. Goldman, there's I don't remember the name, but there are many people who talks about emotional intelligence, right? But now the question is, we all know that emotional intelligence is very important, but now how to develop that? How to develop that emotional quotient? How to develop that emotional intelligence, right? So first thing to develop the emotional intelligence is we must know ourselves. And now the discussion become a bit philosophical, like more religious type, more spiritual type. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the core practical things which we can put in the practice. So first thing is, if we say we need to be aware about our strength and about our weakness, so much better would be we need to think about our strength, right? So develop your core value proposition. There's a book maybe you can see here, like the strength-based psychology, right? Discover yourself, like what are your core strengths, right? And work on them. So first thing is this: we need to define our value proposition. We need to define our strength, work on those strengths every day, right? At the time you feel secure about yourself, you feel good, you're emotionally more stable, right? You are more knowledgeable, you can talk about that, right? And they say that the big part of your communication is your knowledge, then it's a practice, and then it's a kind of inherent, right? So the time you work on your skill every day, you feel good about yourself. The time you are in a group, or you are in a meeting, we are in a conference, you know your subject, and the confidence automatically comes, right? So there's no trick, there's no external things. You know your subject, you know everything about that, and you can talk about that. It comes to natural. So the time you feel good about yourself, then automatically what happens, it reflects through your talk. That's first thing. Second thing is, if you don't do that, what happens, we constantly, big part of emotional problem comes the time we are comparing ourselves with others, right? What happens? You go to work and there is another colleague who is much better than you, and he talks well, he's well dressed, and he's from a big business school like Harvard, etc. You start comparing yourself with him, and then what happens? You depressed, you start closing in your closet, right? Right. And why? And this is very natural. We're human being. It's pretty natural for a human being to compare ourselves with other, evaluating ourselves with other, and then feel depressed and feel jealous. This is very normal. It happens with everyone. But there's no but the alternative to this point is you define your niche, you define your uniqueness in what is that core intrinsic quality you have which no one has. Or maybe someone might have that, but what's that core intrinsic quality characteristic you have? Work on that constantly every single day, and you will start feeling good about yourself, because now you are the master of the game. You are the master of your craft. And whenever there's whenever there's some meeting, you are the one who lead the discussion. You are the one who bring latest some deep ideas. Okay, now let me ask you a question. Why it happens that there is a big seminar, right? There's a big meeting, big event, and people are called from different industries, right? And that maybe these people are pretty disjoint from the original meeting. Maybe these people don't belong to that meeting, but people are respected. The unique people are respected. All experts from their areas are welcome in that meeting. Why? Because these people are expert of their game. These people bring something unique to table, right? Which sorry, which a generic person don't really bring, right? So my advice is this: emotional intelligence, big part of our emotional problem comes the time we start comparing ourselves with others. First thing. Second thing is the time we are comparing ourselves with others, we are always looking for our negative point and his positive points, right? But the right thing is this, right approach could be this. Don't compare yourself with many people. Don't compare yourself with people those who are from different industries, but develop your own value proposition. Be the master of your game, right? And then take that deep expertise in your area, right? If you are the master of your game, automatically you will be recognized, right? And the people will appreciate you, right? And at that time, you are not really comparing yourself with the masses, but you are comparing maybe yourself with the very few handful of people, those who are the expert in that area. And then what happens? The time you belongs to that very very small micro group of expert, you feel good about yourself. So what I would say is, if you really want to build the emotional intelligence, just work on yourself and work on your core value proposition, work on your that internal intrinsic quality, what you have. Work on that for next 10 years. I'm sure you will have some mastery on your emotional intelligence. You will start, people will start recognizing you, and you will start less comparing yourself with other, and you will feel good about yourself. So big part of emotional intelligence is what? Feeling good about yourself. And the point is, how can you feel good about yourself if you don't feel that worth? And the person feel good about himself the time he is doing something unique which no one else is doing, right? And the point of this, we all have that uniqueness, and to understand that uniqueness is very important. 95% of a world population is a generic. Only 5% is the really successful, because they discovered this uniqueness in their childhood. They work on it, and now they are the master of their game. Money is not a problem. Abundance comes to them. They are recognized. They're world famous. And I believe that they are more emotionally stable than us, because now we are comparing ourselves with them, but maybe they're comparing themselves with a smallest group of the people. So outside, for best thing for emotional intelligence, to develop emotional intelligence, is don't compare yourself with others, define your niche, and be the expert of your game. Even though you will not be emotionally stable, it's always it's a lifelong process. But this step is definitely going to help you. Thank you.